Alright, Scraft fans, here it is, the hotly anticipated second semi-final between supervv and Wyrm. Wyrm, of course, our Protoss player in the bottom right of Abiogenesis, and supervv, our Terran player, up in the top left. So, I mean, it's semi-finals, isn't it? I'm expecting some high-level plays here. I'm expecting some decent back and forth. I'm expecting to see quality polished builds. That's what I'm looking for, polished builds. No mucking about here, no gas first, no weird double pylon first. Proper StarCraft, that's what we're looking. So yeah, Wyrm opening up with the pylon over here, looking to block the path for the Reaper. And supervv, we know he likes a Reaper. And look, this gas first is classic. Get the gas done, started before you start the racks. And it means as soon as the racks finishes, you've got 50 gas, you've got enough to get a Reaper in production. So that is a pretty early gas, pretty early second gas coming down as well, which is less typical. So I'm curious to know what supervv's got in mind here with this second gas timing. Generally as a Terran, you don't necessarily need a very early second gas. So we'll see. We'll see what he's up to. The probe is going to come in through the open door and is going to be able to have a look around. No scouting yet from supervv, but of course, if he is going to be building a Reaper, which I suspect, that Reaper can get out pretty sharpish, and that can give you all the scouting information you want. Very, very hard to stop the Reaper getting in. So it isn't a Reaper, it's a very fast factory. So you'd have to suspect a Cyclone build. There's a reactor coming down straight away on the racks. So my suspicion is as soon as that finishes up, there was a good opportunity there to throw a pylon just in the wall just to be obnoxious. You can always cancel it in a minute, but anyway, it's kind of slightly annoying for the Terran because it means it leaves a gap that an adept can shed through, or they, you know what I mean, they've got to do weird things with their buildings to avoid that. Yeah, so on the other side of the map, it is a pretty quick nexus. So this nexus, I didn't quite catch whether that came down, but I think that was nexus before Cycle, was it? Yeah, so Wyrm, like, sort of satisfied that he knows what's going on. He's into the nexus first. Now, there are 2 Cyclones in production, and with nexus first, yeah, there could be trouble. There could be trouble. This could hit pretty hard. Now, it is a Stargate opener for Wyrm, and Stargates can be alright, but Cyclones don't do too badly against Protoss Air if the Protoss Air is in small numbers. They don't do too badly at all. You'd rather have a Robo, you'd rather have something like a Mortal that packs a bit more punch. Oracles fall out of the sky pretty quickly. If you've got several Oracles, you can certainly focus on Cyclones. That is definitely a thing, because the Oracles are pretty quick, so it's hard for the Cyclones to run away. But with the range of the Cyclones being so large, yeah, and if there's many Cyclones, and it looks like there is going to be, the Oracles just fall out of the sky a bit too quickly. So the Adept is here. And this is where, like, if you had been able to sort of disrupt the Terran's wall in, you can get a shed into the mid and you can see what's happening. Because double factory with reactor, it's going to be a lot of Cyclones. But alarm bells should already be ringing for Wyrm. There's no expo here. There's no sign of an expo here. I'd love to see a shed come up the ramp to try and get a look in, because what you want to know is there a CC building here ready to fly down into position? Obviously we can see that there isn't, but yeah, Wyrm doesn't know that. He's going to see this move out though. Sees absolutely everything, sees all of the Cyclones. Hopefully he lets the shed finish and just fight some SCVs. Yeah, cut off the mining, but my goodness, what are you going to do about this? How many shield batteries are done? None so far. The shield battery just starting now is not going to be finished in time. None in the men. There's only 2 Phoenix here, so he can lift 2 of the Cyclones. 3 Stalkers behind it. Where's the Chrono going? There is Chrono energy here, so he can Chrono the gateways, but there's just so many Cyclones. Focusing the gateway, which I find a bit weird. Surely the pylon Just focus this pylon down and all of these gates are out of action. So finally it's a target shift onto the pylon, and the pylon goes down, and that's it. Yeah, it's just GG. Yeah, so going back, this is when alarm bells should have been going off, and I'm not sure with the Adept why there wasn't a shed coming up the ramp, because maybe supervv closes the depot in time, maybe not, but I can't help but feel that a shed here just getting to the depot could possibly see that factory. I don't know. I think you might. And you would definitely see the cyclones. So you'd kind of, no expo, cyclones build in factory with a reactor. You would know what's up. You'd know what's up. Yeah, and the shield battery doesn't drop immediately. And I don't know. Tricky. It was always going to be a tough hold. It was always going to be a very difficult hold indeed. Anyway, GG, supervv takes the first game.